Sandy Butler was diagnosed with glioblastoma stage 5 in 2010. She lost her fight in 2015, and that is when I took over as team captain. We love Head for the Cure. It brings people together, it brings hope, and most importantly, it brings awareness to all the brain cancers that are out there.
I have a pretty strong connection to brain cancer. In 2011, my grandfather passed away to a glioblastoma. Just recently, my husband was diagnosed with a grade 3 astrocytoma. As far as brain cancer goes, I really want people to know and understand that it doesn't discriminate. Seeing him go from running a half marathon, the next week we were on the beach in Mexico, and then the next week he was having brain surgery to remove a tumor the size of a tennis ball in his brain. It's not something that we ever expected or that we ever planned for, and I just want people to know that it can happen to anyone and it's pretty serious, but I also want people to know that no one fights alone. We're all in it together.
I had all the standard things back then. I had surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, and then I was doing quite well for the last 10 years, and then in 2018 I had a bit of a recurrence and was back on chemotherapy and was doing okay until 2020, and then had another worse recurrence and had surgery on May 6th of this year, followed by more chemotherapy, and then this fun new hat called Optune, which I have to wear 18 hours a day. I'm really here to introduce my good friend Ben Ryan, and he was really unfortunate, also got diagnosed with brain tumor. And I have great news, because he's had a rough time, is that his last 2 scans had showed no residual tumor. As soon as Ben got diagnosed, I realized that it wasn't about me anymore, but it was about this courageous young man. So I put all my resources into Team Benjamin, because he has a lot of friends from school that showed up for his races.
So having brain cancer is being in a club that you don't ever want to join. But if you do become a member, it's important to remember to take things one day at a time. To not think about a year in the future, a week, a month, to think about today and the present moment.
3 years after Taylor was diagnosed, she went on to earn her bachelor's degree from Baylor University. Then she went to the University of Nebraska and earned her master's degree, and currently is working on her PhD. We're very proud of her, and we look forward to all the things she's going to accomplish in the future. One of the great things about Head for the Cure is that the money that's raised goes to find a cure for brain cancer and brain tumors.
Hi, we're the Patel family, and this is Sean Patel. Sean was diagnosed with brain cancer earlier this year in May. Even though they found the tumor, it took an entire month to make his final diagnosis, which turns out he has an extremely rare type of brain cancer. And as you can see, he does have quite a bit of brain damage from earlier stages in June. And so while we're navigating through this roller coaster ride with his treatment, we are also having a lot of therapy and treatments to help him regain and reroute as much for his neuropath as we can. It is extremely important for our family to bring awareness to brain cancer so that we can also support other families, and in the future there could be additional clinical trials and information and treatments for children and adults as well.
Head for the Cure's 5Ks look a little different this year, but the compassion and support remains strong.
A son, a brother, a nephew, a cousin, and certainly a friend. John's determination and faith never faltered. John, you will always be our inspiration.
Like many other families with Head for the Cure, let us remember and support these warriors in hopes of treatment advances they so deserve and need. Thank you, Head for the Cure.
Team John Strong lives on!
So what I want people to know is, like, treat me like you did, and I'm gonna fight, that sort of thing. It makes me feel stronger to know that I'm loved and supported, and I'm not in a way of like pity or anything, but in a way of power. So when someone has a sickness like this or anything even similar, I would imagine, it's very easy for others and even themselves to, and I'm not perfect at it, but to feel very down about yourself or to feel down about that person in a situation. And if I'm speaking from how I want it, just don't be sad. Like, Don't look at me like you feel bad. Look at me like I just got it.